if you step on Gumby, does he stick on the bottom of your shoe?
Well, the first part of his name definitely says so. Yeah. Yep. It's stuck to your shoe. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode number 7 of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, baby. We're rolling.
We're happy to be back. We did it. Woo!
I think I caught Tony by surprise a little bit.
I was really into that Gumby talk, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, it's a good question that drug heads have been pondering for years. If you step on Gumby, does he stick to the bottom of your shoe? You know? I don't know.
Is that really? I haven't done enough drugs because I haven't heard that question yet.
Yeah, no, I'm just making shit up.
All right, because I was going to make that my quitting point once I got to Gumby talk. Woo!
Anymore. Man. Well, you got to get enough drugs until, got to do enough of them until everybody looks like Gumby to you. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not doing that. I can barely handle like half the drugs everyone else does without sitting in the corner petting myself. The last time that happened, I had my best friend help me use the bathroom at a concert. Like, so if Gumby's everywhere is past that, I'm no good to anybody if I do that.
Yeah. Well, sticking to tradition of the show, new tradition in the last couple episodes. It wasn't before, but now it is. We're alcoholics in the middle of the day. For me, it's a lot earlier. What time is it? Like here in Oregon, it's 12:20 in the afternoon.
It's lunchtime.
And I'm popping a beer with a knife. So
I got the last beer in the fridge.
What is that beer? I think you got the last beer on earth if it's that beer. Show it to everyone.
It's Coffee Bender. Brown ale with coffee added.
Yeah, that's probably the last beer on earth because no one's drinking that shit. So
I am.
Cheers, Tony.
No. Oh, it smells like coffee. It should be known that I don't drink coffee.
Yeah,
Do you put cream and sugar in this? I don't know how to take it.
You just grab your ankles and someone will tell you.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Bend over. That is good.
No, it's not a hard beer taste. It's a hard, like, cold, the metallic-y coffee spilled, like the coffee that you spill in your glove compartment, fuck. It tastes like dirty coffee with beer, like Peeber and piss coffee.
You know what that means? That this is going to be a good episode. Tony's over there drinking coffee beer, throwing up all over the place.
Put your party hat on.
I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm wearing a hat like a 13-year-old that's playing basketball.
Eddie Munster joins the team.
Right?
Sorry, I love it, man.
I know. No, dude, I mean, look it.
Have you ever seriously? I would do that. I'll dress up. I'll tell you what. If you ever dress up like Eddie Munster, I'll go full tilt. I'll dress like Wednesday, whatever it takes.
That's
all right.
Hey, you don't have to tempt me with a boner. You know what I mean?
All right. Maybe I was a little too excited about dressing up like a 13-year-old girl, but hey, whatever. Oh shit!
Oh man, like I look like Eddie Munster ate the Munsters.
Whoa! Oh, that's true. Sorry, man.
That's true.
Hey, if it's any consolation, I'm almost big enough to play Thing.
I know,
that's
right?
cool.
Yeah. All right. They're kids. So we did our homework, and our homework was to listen and review the soundtrack from the movie 3 from Hell.
Yes.
Rob Zombie flick. I haven't seen the movie. Tony has. It is his most recent one, right? It came out last year.
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a Rob Zombie nerd. As far as last show we talked about concerts. I'd actually been to a few of his shows. Mm-hmm. This is not his third movie, but it's his third in the series with his crew from House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Rejects. So
Right.
Baby, Otis, and Captain Spaulding come back one more time. I'm not going to tell you how the movie goes or anything like that. The soundtrack is what we're talking about.
But didn't
And
that die?
what's that?
Didn't that actor die? That one actor?
Damn it, Al. Yes, he's dead.
Oh, everyone knows that he's dead.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're not fucking anything up. No, the guy who
everyone-
plays Captain Spaulding
You
didn't
know.
make it. Yeah, that's you don't have to. Yeah, that's a secret that's already out there.
Yeah, like it's not the people making the movie aren't the only people that know he's dead. You know, people that
I
make
don't know that, Alex. You're blowing my mind right now.
Everyone
I live
knows
alone.
he's dead. You know why? Because he's dead. He's dead.
Don't tell him. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that dude, he actually passed away during the filming of the movie. So a little bit of back history. A week before, Rob was going to put the famous three out for one more run of fun. He wrote the whole script, and then of course the guy who plays Captain Spaulding. I really wish I could remember his name. I'm really fucking ruining that.
He was
right
old. He was old, right?
Right.
He was like.
But he was super skinny. Well, hell, you can get a good look at him in the movie because they got one day of filming with him.
Mhm.
And so Rob was like, he wasn't going to make it. So I switched it over and it did work really well. He added another person, basically a character you didn't know of yet. Fits awesomely. So they end up down in the soundtracks are always my favorite because Rob digs up shit. Not only that he likes, but he matches it to the time frame. The movies take place in the 70s. So he commits to 70s music or 60s or whatever. He always surprises me because this is not shit that I would normally listen to. He picks one or two things that I might like. And then like in this album, a bunch of Terry Reid.
Yeah.
I don't own any Terry Reid. I do now because I have the soundtrack.
Oh, you bought it on vinyl. All right. Yeah.
I didn't buy this. I gotta give credit where credit's due. This was given as a gift. So this is what people buy me because they know how fucked up I am. This is actually colored vinyl. It's fucking awesome. These are limited. I guess they don't make a ton of these, but it's out there. In any case,
right?
What's that?
There's 4 sides, right?
Yeah, the first 2 sides are all the movie music and all the sounds and the, yada yada. What I always liked about Rob's soundtracks is that he takes clips from the movie, ties them into the music, and then stacks it through almost like it's its own little movie by itself, if you will, because you get a sense of the film with the music. A lot of the songs on there is cool as hell. I love how it opens with Suzi Quatro. As soon as you see the movie, so that's Baby, the character in the movie. That's her anthem in this one. So
okay, nice.
That hits. Other stuff in the movie's cool. One song that sticks in my head, and I actually hate that it sticks in my head, is called "It's a Sin to Tell a Lie."
I like that song. I listen to that.
I don't because it fucks me up.
It what?
He's like, don't tell people that you love them if you don't. Like, that's the biggest. I'm like, but that's how I get laid. Like, that's crazy. I can't break my own.
Hey, man.
So in any case, Rob comes into my house and delivers a lesson to morality with his soundtrack. And then as you continue to go down the line, let's see. There's cool little stuff in there. It's funny. James Gang, The Devil Is Singing Our Song. I never heard it till this. It's fucking awesome. I mean, if you dig that kind of stuff. A couple of James Gangs on there. And then you had mentioned something about this. But real quick, the whole hook for the movie for me was actually in the trailer before I saw the movie. Baby, there's a scene in the movie where they're playing In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, but it's the 17-minute version. I didn't know there was a 17-minute version of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I may be the only person who's excited about that, but I am.
I think it's the original. That's the original, I think.
What?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's originally 17 minutes and 5 seconds.
Fuck me. That's awesome. That obviously didn't get any radio play until they cut the hell out of it.
Right, yeah, they had to pop it up a little bit, but
right. So I had no idea. And that song, the reason that song hooks me is in the movie, the music slows down, you barely hear it. And then the movie slows down and Baby's standing up on a dresser with a fucking bow and arrow. And already the music's been high, but it goes away. You barely remember it. All of a sudden, she comes in for the kill, and then full blast. And she lets loose. The thing goes right through his jaw, through his shoulder, shatters everything. Blood and guts ensue. Tony gets excited. Off we go again. great way to lead it in. You forgot they were playing that song for like 3 minutes in the background.
Right.
Until she just cross-posed a dude right through the face. Woo! If only football was that exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that's why I like that soundtrack. Alex, you had a tweet. You had some intel.
I have a little bit of trivia about the band is Iron Butterfly, and who sings that song. And originally, when they wrote that song, when it came out in '68, could be wrong, but I think it's '68.
Right. I'll go with it.
If I'm wrong, just let me know. But I think it's '68, and it was the name of the song wasn't originally In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. That wasn't original. Did you know that?
No, I do know what they were trying to say.
Yeah, they were trying to say in the Garden of Eden. And the little history about that is that was the original name, in the Garden of Eden. And that was a completely original name. But what happened was somebody, and you could Google it, and it just says somebody, it doesn't say the person, or if it was a band member or who it was, but somebody had like a drunk joke. They think that it was like someone that was drunk and was playing a joke, wrote In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida on a demo copy, and then those copies went out, and then everyone got that, and so everyone that bought the copy thought it was called In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Oh shit.
So the record company made the band change it from In the Garden of Eden to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Now, what I heard, I didn't know that part. I didn't know that that's how the title. I know this. What I heard was something similar. That they played the song, and someone said the band was so fucked up that they couldn't understand what they were saying.
Right.
They were singing In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and they thought it's in the Garden of Eden. But if you say it's drunk, it sounds like In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Yeah.
And so they recorded it, apparently just shithoused, and that's how it came out that way.
That could be right, because there's a lot of things on the internet, right?
Somewhere in there's the truth, right?
But like the main truth is it was supposed to be one thing, but it ended up being another thing by mistake, by someone thinking it was that. You know what I mean? So
right.
But whether it being like someone was drunk and decided to write a little like a joke and write In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida on the demo, or if the band was drunk and everyone thought it. So either way, it kind of, honestly, it makes more sense if you think about it that the band was drunk and the fans thought that they were saying.
Right. I saw live footage of them singing that song.
Yeah.
And I think that was when they figured out that was the name of it. I saw them sing it, and it wasn't in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
It was live, and they were like, oh, like, wow.
It makes more sense of that because that seems more realistic. You know what I mean?
Right. But to your point, I didn't hear that part of it where that's how it became national. Like,
right. Yeah.
Because that's the other question is how the fuck did they decide to let that become In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida? Like they didn't have a decision. Someone was like, no, it's not in the Garden of Eden. I heard him. It's In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. So that's what we're calling it.
Right.
And the band's like, I'll have another, please.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm in the Garden of Eden. I don't give a shit I'm in the garden right now, and I'm wasted. Who knew that the Garden of Eden was actually a beer garden? No one fucking knew that. That's In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, baby. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Are these the guys who fucking invented beer gardens? Like,
maybe. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, we're in the beer garden called in the Garden of Eden. And you know what? Instead of saying, like, everybody Wing Chun tonight, in the Garden of Eden, baby. Hey.
Everybody in the beer garden, baby.
It's just like,
here's a 350.
Beer's cold.
They probably,
who cares?
If they're still alive, they're probably playing beer gardens right now.
Oh, probably.
I mean,
yeah.
You can't have the same. You just can't. Your fan base dies off.
Dude, I'll play a beer garden. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we will. I'll open for you. I'll open for your opener.
Yeah, man. I don't give a fuck. I'll open for the opener that's opening for you, and then I'll open for you, and then you go open for me. No, I've done shows at like a beer garden kind of situation before, so.
Well, I like the shows where they're like, and before we do music, we're gonna have comedy.
Yeah.
Like, that must be me. Hi, I'm comedy.
Yeah. Before you get to see the thing that you paid for, here's this thing that you don't want to see. All right. The comedy stylings of Tony G and Alex. Hey, does anyone have a handgun? A loose rope and a rickety stool? Can I want to get out of here.
Oh my God. Yeah, and that's me. That's me on stage. You get me out of here. The worst part is like getting booked for shows when you're starting out and you suck, but you can't tell yourself that you suck because you'll quit. So you have to lie to yourself the first 5 years. So you push yourself out there, you take bookings you shouldn't take. You end up on stages at 4 o'clock at beer gardens in front of children and families that just want to have, a peaceful evening. And then you ruin that for, $50 and a beer token. Done that a few times.
Wait, $50? You're getting $50? What the fuck?
You should have never left Bend, Alex.
I'm gonna start kicking the ass and saying, "Hey, come back next Thursday." You know what I mean? For free.
It reminds me of the story I heard about. I saw about Garth Brooks real quick, which is way out in left field. But he said this: he was making $700 a week or something doing music in Oklahoma, and he went down to Tennessee, like 23, 24 years old, and he finds a real booker and all this stuff, and he's talking to this guy, and he says, listen, he's like, I want to be famous, blah, blah, blah. And the guy is like, I'm making $700 a week in Oklahoma. How's it going to be here? He's like, the guy's like, you're making $700 a week playing music in your hometown? It's like, go home. Yeah. What are you, crazy? Like, and he did. He went back and played. So the point is, go to the shitty beer garden.
It's all one of those things where like, when comedy was still alive, like even living in a town that has like good comedy, all of us were still doing like shitty shows. It actually took me a long time, only up until like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. I didn't realize that I don't have to do the shit shows. I don't have to do a show in someone's living room anymore, but I still do them.
I was going to say, like, wait a minute, those are the good ones. Look, the kitty.
But like, what I'm trying to say, it's like you get to a certain point where it's like, no, don't say yes to everything. There's some things that you could be like, because when you first started doing comedy, like you're told like, don't turn down any gig, do them all, do every shit, fucking hell road gig ever, and I think you get a couple of years into it, like 10 years, for me, it was like at like year 8 or 9, it was like, okay, I think I could have said no to certain shows like 4 years ago, but I still been doing them. And I'm like, I'm not going to drive to Eugene for $12 and do a show in a coffee shop with all the lights on. No one knows that it's going to be there. And there's no microphone. You know what I mean? I could say no to those shows.
Right.
Like I'm not going to drive 2.5, 3 hours for half the gas money that it takes to get there to do a show in front of people that are trying to read a book and just have a quiet, afternoon. Afternoon. That's another bad part about it. It's an afternoon. You could say no. So if you're starting out to do, I don't mean to sound like a prick, but if you're starting out to do comedy, do those shows. But when you get to a certain point in a certain amount of years, you don't have to do those shows anymore. It's better, for yourself and your psyche to be like, and to say no. And then at a certain point, people start seeing you only doing those shows. So you get known as that person that only does that. So you don't get booked for the other things. So still do those shows. Don't say no, but after a while you could say no. And
so you need to know when to stop. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And I mean while, I mean years. It took me 8 years to, to realize I should not do that. And I could have probably stopped at like 5 or 6. So.
Well, my favorite shows are those shows where you go and then you start talking to the bartender or whatever, and then the conversation goes something like, oh, we having comedy tonight? Yeah, I didn't know we were having. No, I thought it was tomorrow night. Oh, we're gonna do the show. Oh, you gonna do it today? Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, we'll just say we're not having the fight and we'll do comedy. Like what? You don't know we're having a comedy show? Right there. That's when you just turn around, go home, and stay there. You don't need to do that show because nobody's coming. I used to perform on a stage with no microphone, no audience, unless the bartender happened to be standing back there for no reason.
Right.
Those shows needed to happen, but they don't need to happen anymore. You can do that at home to your cat. Your cat will probably laugh at you more than an empty fucking bar will. So,
like, here's a good example of that. And I know this is a bad name nowadays because he did something awful, but a year before Louis C.K. got outed for jacking off at people, I went and I saw him in Portland at the Moda Center, and this was before that was a known thing. I went and saw him, and my schedule was I had tickets to go see Louis, and then like 10 minutes after the show ended, his show, and I had to run to Ground Control, which is a video game barcade in Portland, to go do like a shitty little show. So I went and saw Louis. He just got done doing like 10,000 people or whatever, however many, the Moda Center. And then I went and did this little video game show in front of 30 people that are trying to play Ninja Turtles and Batman video games. Like Cruising USA, they don't give a shit.
Cruising USA.
I don't fucking blame them. The Terminator fucking game, the shooter game, that game's awesome. I want to play that.
I love that game. Hit the red button.
So I show up to do the show, and we're like, everyone's like, we're postponing the show for a little bit. And they're like, why? And I was like, why? And they're like, well, Louis is going to show up. And so Todd Glass, one of his openers, Todd Glass is friends with a lot of people a lot of comics in Portland. And the host of the show convinced Todd to come down and do the show.
Oh shit!
To do like a little guest spot, and then so Todd convinced Louis to come out, and Louis came out, and I remember I didn't meet Louis or anything, but I remember him saying to Todd, he was like, "Wait, why in the fuck am I here?" Because at his point, it's like, I'm Louis C.K.
Oh my god!
I don't need to do this.
Oh my god!
And he just did
10,000 fucking people, and now he's working for free for 30 that aren't paying attention.
And what the point of that is like that's the comics brain. I know what I just said about how you could say no to shows, but I'm still probably gonna do those fucking coffee shop shows that are that I shouldn't do. But that's the comics brain is where you're like.
That's what I'm saying. You can't not do those shows.
Yeah, you're like, hey, you wanna do 20 before this funeral happens? You're like, no, I do not want to do that.
I got some stuff. I got some stuff about death. Yeah, I can do a quick 20. That's us. Like, I got some death jokes. They should do well here. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Put me up. No, I don't want to do the show. What time am I going on? You shouldn't do it.
Oh, it's like Sandlot. Like, I triple dog dare you. Really? Your own brain. Like, I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Your grandma passed. This is horrible.
This is like, that's what Louis did. He said that on floor, not on stage because there's no stage, on floor. He was just like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't think he said this, but he basically said, I'm Louis C.K. I don't need to do this. Like, people just spent $50 on a ticket to see me, thousands of people in an arena. And then now you get to see me for free.
And and then you go open mic it. Do you imagine like how much your ticket value diminished when you found out that Louis just did a pop-up show right after the shit you dropped fucking 500 on front row seats for?
Right.
Imagine you took your chick, you're like some schnook, and you're like, you know what, babe? I got us tickets to Louis, front row seat. After that, because you're cool, we're going to play some video games. And you're sitting there playing Cruising USA, double tapping the gas, kicking this chick's butt in video games. Here comes fucking Louis. What do you know? You just paid a lot of money to see him, and now he's doing it for free. And he's funnier than he was now. I mean, he's funnier now. And on top of that, He took your new girlfriend home. Ain't that a bitch?
Yep.
That's what I like to think happened.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's why we do it, folks.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
Ugh.
how's that?
Woo.
You are you starting to like it? You
No.
seem like you seem like you're getting used to it.
I think I'm forcing myself to be an alcoholic just by doing the show.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause I
And
keep
you know
drinking
what? I got to be
shitty beer.
honest. I'm gonna be honest with you and everyone else that watches this. I'm the drinker. I'm the drunk. This was his idea. He's the one that was like, I'm gonna start drinking shit beer that's left over in my fridge. Like
Speaking of which, I got to invite people over to leave more shitty beer in my fridge because this is the last one.
no, you
gonna
gotta
call
go to
my-
the store and you gotta find the shittiest beer and you gotta buy it.
Oh, fuck, no. You let other people buy it. You go with them and you're like, yeah, that looks good. And then when they don't drink it, you have to drink it. That's what's happened here.
Right, man. Well, next episode, gotta get them people over with that shitty beer.
Oh, man. Next episode should be interesting. I'm going to go on a week-long vacation for roller coasters without a hotel room.
Really?
It'll be fun. Yeah, Jesse and I are going, my 15-year-old daughter and I are going car camping for a week through the Northeast to go to roller coasters.
I knew you were going, but I didn't know you guys were just staying in the car.
Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, to spend $100 on a hotel to get or not get COVID, I'd rather sleep in my car.
Right.
And whatever. It is what listen, folks, it is what it is right now. Those are two popular sayings. Things are weird, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take my weird ass on a 5-day road trip for roller coasters and sleep in my car. It's a Subaru. It's a station wagon. I can do it. We already worked it out.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
No, you're crazy. You're over here drinking coffee.
Anyway.
It's like the hobo.
Wait, hang on. Let me slow down. How the hell was your week, man?
It was good, man. I installed an air conditioner in my house.
What?
Pretty
Are
cool.
you getting bored?
Huh?
Wait. Air conditioning in Portland? Honestly, we've never needed it in Portland.
It was the other day, the day before we got the air conditioner. It was 86 degrees when I was trying to go to sleep, and that's too hot for me.
You guys upstairs? Bedrooms upstairs, huh?
No, it's not. There's a basement and a garage, and then the second level, and then there's an upstairs. And but yeah, no, the front room is in the middle level, and it was really fucking hot. It's been really humid, and
I hear you.
we just a lot of people have air conditioners around here. There you go. That's some coffee, baby.
It's like I'm alert and drunk at the same time,
Yeah. It's get highs and lows. You're ready to wake up and go to sleep at the same time.
And vomit. That's the best part.
Do you think a hobo behind Dunkin' Donuts is the one that invented that beer? I got Steel Reserve and some old coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Pour them together.
It's 3 a.m. It's time for coffee and beer.
Yeah.
Done.
You got some Folgers in your flask, baby.
Is that maybe that is how it happens, because if you're a bum and people are giving you money, they always give out different advice. When some people give out advice, some people just give money. So if you're an honest bum and you're like, all right, if they tell me to get something to eat or something to drink with it, I'll get something healthy. But if they just give me money, I'm going to buy alcohol because I'm a fucking alcoholic, and that's why I'm here. So someone gives you money and you're like, that's beer money. Then someone says, get something to eat with this, make sure it's healthy. You're like, okay, I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee. So then you're like, here's $5 for coffee. Here's $5 for alcohol. Here we go. That's an honest bum, and I think that's how this shit was made. I think he made it laying right next to him and put it in this can because it doesn't taste like it was cleaned at all.
Right.
Anyway, you put in an air conditioner. You're sweating your ass off just like me now.
Well, what it is, it's like we got fans, and I got it right here next to me. You might be able to hear it. Might be fucking the show up. I got a little swamp cooler, but I realized swamp coolers fucking suck. They do the opposite. They do the opposite. Like, unless you're right in front of the goddamn thing, it makes the whole room that it's in like a fucking swamp. It's called a swamp cooler. You know what I mean? It's called a swamp cooler. So,
right.
it makes it the whole room, like it creates a swamp in the room, and then it tries to cool itself off. That's all it does. It's like you walk into the room, you're like, it's all sticky in here. And then you sit down in front of that swamp cooler, and you're like, it feels good. But you have to be right in front of the fucking thing for it to feel good. So we got a real PC. Go ahead,
Okay.
Walt.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it makes sense. That shit was probably invented in Louisiana. Like, it's already hot and wet. Can we make it cold and wet?
Right.
Because someone who wasn't in the deep south wouldn't be like, "We're gonna make a swamp cooler."
Yeah.
What? A swamp cooler?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
No, we're just gonna make an air conditioner.
Right.
Nah, like, no, it's possible. It doesn't have to be wet and cold. It can just be cold.
It'd be
They
cool.
don't get that.
Right.
Always gonna be wet down there because it's a swamp. So it's gonna be cold and wet instead of hot and wet. You know, it's like old piss.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think it was something like that. But
So you got an air conditioner now.
got an air conditioner, and me and my friend Scott, he's dating my girlfriend's sister, and him and I installed it. And when I say install, that's a very loose. I use that very loosely. It was not. We did as best job as we can, but like, all right. So you know how when you install when you see or install an air conditioner in a window, the window opens like this, right?
Yeah, I know that part.
From bottom to top, and you close it from top to bottom, right? Well, I have the window that opens like a book.
Oh no! Oh no!
Right? So you put the air conditioner in there. The window's about 4 feet tall. You put the air conditioner in there. There's still 1.5 foot gaps. So you got to fill that with something, right?
Cardboard.
A shower liner. You know what I mean?
What?
Curtain. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah, we took a shower curtain, a clear shower curtain liner, some white Gorilla duct tape. It's called Gorilla tape. It's white though, so it's fancy. It doesn't look all like gray. You know, it doesn't look like white trash as much. So we put the air conditioner in. We had a rack. And a rack that the air conditioner sits on, we bought it. It's like a legit one. And then it was like rocking. It wasn't even the. It looks like the fucking moon. It's like got like fucking craters on the bottom of it, like where the wires inside the air conditioner are. There's like bumps in the metal, so it doesn't sit fucking flat on it. So I had to go to like the junk pile that's in our house because we're white trash. And I'm half white trash. And then I had to find like an old like door from like a cabinet, like a piece of wood. And then like so I set that on there, and then we just bungee cord it down, and then
Get the fuck out of here.
But see, here's the tricky part. Is this window that we were putting the air conditioner in is above the garage. You know what I mean? So here's the house. Here's the house. Yeah. Here's the garage. Here's the window.
Right.
So there is like a 15 to 20 foot drop in between the window
and the
ground, right? Yep. Because here's the driveway, and here's the garage, and then here's the window.
Ooh.
So does that makes sense, right? Like garage, and like
super high,
window, so super high. So you just can't like go outside and tie a rope. We don't have a fucking ladder, so we're finding ourselves in a predicament. I'm like, all right, I'm half hillbilly. What do I do? What do hillbillies? I'm like, I got an idea. So I took the car, turned it around, backed it up, put the e-brake on, climbed on top of the car, and then I was tying the rope when I was standing on the car. And then that made me think, it's like, there's a bunch of shit going on in the world, but we need hillbillies more than ever. We do need hillbillies. Because if the real end of the world happens and millions of people die and it's actual apocalypse, and it's like, it's like every scene in every movie where you have to have like a shopping cart full of your belongings and your whole family dies, and you have to like eat rats and cats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You need a hillbilly because they'll make a fucking house out of an old refrigerator, and you won't even know. They'll turn a lawnmower into a car. So all I'm saying is, you might not agree with some hillbillies, but they're resourceful and we need them.
All right, so I agree with what you're saying, and I agree with the fact that they would turn a refrigerator into an airplane like the Wright brothers and all this other stuff. But they do that now.
Yeah, and
So in
that,
movies,
that's why we need them. That's why we need them.
right? But at the end of the world, when your family's dead and you're pushing a grocery cart, you don't want hillbillies because they've moved past that, and now they've already built their house and they want to eat your soul for dinner.
Yeah.
If you see, so we don't want that. I'm with you, but the movies I saw, it didn't look good when the hillbillies like, no, those aren't the people. They don't care about air conditioning anymore. They want to floss their teeth with your hair. Don't do it. I mean, I'm not hanging out with you when this shit happens, Alex. You're going to attract the wrong people.
No, I'm one of the good ones.
It's your in-laws I'm worried about. I'm just your family, whatever. Who your redneck, wherever your redneckness comes from.
Yeah, man, I'm. My last name's Rios. You know, I got a little bit of cayenne dumped on the fucking, hillbilly. You know, I got like half beaner, half white, half white trash. You know, it's a mixed bag of fucking bullshit.
How can you be a redneck Mexican? That doesn't work.
I know. I don't know if I can. Talk to my dad.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah. You talk to my dad for, fucking somebody that's from Kentucky. I don't know.
Oh my God. I've talked to your dad.
I know you have.
Oh my God.
How you been, man? What's been going on with you?
I'm just sweating profusely constantly every day. I'm good though. Everything I touch, even including myself, is always dripping. This cup's dripping, the beer's dripping, I'm dripping. I went to Six Flags last Sunday and everybody was dripping. Hot. It was disgusting. So here's the kick, folks, and you can judge me any way you want. I've been going to amusement parks because I have to work with frontline employees, so that's how I have fun. It's not fun. Just so you know, these amusement parks, they suck ass right now. I'm sure you knew that from the comfort of your home without even buying a season pass. But I'm a moron and a daredevil, so we do dumb shit. It was so fucking hot. Like, we're all wearing masks the whole damn time. There's no fans anymore.
Right.
So they ain't blowing any cold air because you're going to blow around COVID. And you're not going to have any misters because, Six Flags is cheap as shit and going under anyway, so they couldn't afford the mist. It just sucked. It sucked so bad that it wasn't even fun to ride the ride. It was more fun watching people pass out in line. We had enough time. This was like the 80s. Like when it was actually like when everyone had cigarettes twisted up in their arms, you smoked in line, you drank beer, you beat your kids. And not that that's a good thing, but that is what happened. And I kind of felt like that's what was happening as people are just throwing up. And it was nasty, and like people still weren't getting out of line. The one guy's girlfriend passed out. She's like this 90-pound thing. He's 200-pound, fella, and he throws her. Like I felt like it was a throw. It wasn't a toss. He threw her over his shoulder, and she's passed. She's not in good shape. She shouldn't have been moved at all, and she just pops like right on his shoulder, like he burped a baby. And it was like, I don't think that any of that should have come out of her at all.
Right.
She's a little thing that would probably need to stay in. So people are passing out left and right. Yeah. We're not getting out of line. We're dedicated nut jobs like everyone else there. That part was fun. I'm going to plan on doing more sweating. I don't recommend going to amusement parks, but I'm an observation person. I like to go out and be around and look at people and see what's going on.
Right.
I saw something that it's not funny, but I think it's worth pointing out because of all the crazy shit that's going on right now. So I saw, how a lot of kids, it became a trend a few years ago, one of the Jenners or some dipshit that has too much money for no reason.
Right.
Put on a Slayer shirt, a rock shirt. And she clearly isn't into rock, right? And started this trend. And now all these kids wear Thrasher shirts or whatever's cool. Anything is cool. It's nonsense. I saw someone wearing a Misfit shirt with, cool throwback Misfit shirt. The only thing that puzzled me was I could just tell that this person had no fucking clue what the Misfit stood for. And more importantly, like the very next day, I told my daughter as I stood there, I said, hey, I understand trends and I get it. I was like, but with all the things that are going on now with equality and supporting the wrong people, just know that people like that over there, they don't know what they're, I'm sure there's no way that there's no fucking way that this girl would have signed up for the Misfits shirt knowing that the newest or the second lead singer had just came out as a, what do you call a Proud Boy racist,
Boy.
a dickhead, a fucking asshole is what I call him.
Yeah.
A fucking asshole. If this person wearing that shirt knew that, she sure as shit would have burned it and I would have given her the lighter. Wouldn't have been a problem. That's what I wanted to portray to my kid is, hey, fuck trends, Google shit. Because it was just nuts. I'm seriously, this girl would have fucking set it on fire and everyone would have helped her piss out the ashes.
Right.
So definitely watch what you're wearing these days. Like me, this is a little different, but Alex actually hooked me up with this shit. Okay?
Yeah,
this isn't offensive. This is from the alley in Chicago.
Yeah.
I know about this shirt. I went to the store. I met the owner. I also just spit on my screen. That's pretty cool. I met the owner. The owner is cool as shit. And that store is actually in the Gabrielhood in Chicago. I could tell you 10 stories about the alley. That's why I wear the shirt, because I fucking love the alley. I know my clothes. He knows my spot. He went there and he bought me a fucking shirt.
Yeah.
I don't wear shit that I don't know what it is. I'm not bagging on you for it, but damn, girl, if you knew, what the fuck? I mean, please Google this shit. Don't buy this fucking shirts. That guy's a piece of shit. He doesn't need to be funded. Does not need to be funded.
Right.
So
Well,
Google your clothes, kids. Google your clothes.
Yeah. To her credit, she probably didn't know until someone told her, like, hey, just so you know, the second lead singer that made at least one album that I really like, that I think he made 2 albums with the band and toured all over the place, just came out as a straight up Proud Boy. He's doing the symbol that they use. It's a racist white supremacist symbol. It's basically like a gang sign that they use, you know, and and he's it's a picture of him playing a live show with his band that he has, and he's singing and then he's doing the symbol. And I'm not going to do the symbol right now because I don't want people to like watch this, press pause, screenshot, and be like, look at this rate. Like, if you don't know what the symbol is, the Proud Boys, the third percenters, like a bunch of different, like the Patriot Players, all these different racist groups use this sign, and a lot of cops have used it. A lot of U.S. Politicians have used it. A lot of people in the Trump, like in the White House, have used it. And what it looks like the OK symbol.
Right.
It looks like the OK symbol. And the reason why, if you know what the OK symbol looks like, there's 3 fingers sticking up, and then there's two fingers making an O. So it's 3 fingers sticking up that looks like a W, and then if you take the other part of your hand and you turn it upside down, it looks like a P.
Oh Jesus, white
power.
There you go. Got it.
So that's what I understand. That's why it is. So yeah, his name's Michael Graves. He's the second lead singer of the Misfits. I think he was in the Misfits until like 98 or 99. He put out an album I do like from the Misfits, from his era of the Misfits. It's called Famous Monsters. I haven't listened to it since. I'll see if I could, you know, put, you know, like make a divide between him and the album, you know. But
right,
yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit, and like what you were saying, people need a, you know, it just came out like that day. So to her credit, it just came out, you know. But you know, people know what you're listening to, know what you're wearing, you know. So.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is like when you're young, you just wear shit because that person's wearing it and you look up to them and all that. And, you know, there's a lot of ignorance going around with clothing and all that bullshit. But, well, I'm telling you what, I know that girl does not support that side of it. That does not support that team, does not support racist people. So it's just one of those things. I see just a lot of kids out there. I know that a lot of kids are trying to figure out what they're all about. Just please, these days, just look it up real quick. a lot of the metal and all the cool symbols and all that shit, that was 30 or 40 years ago, and things were a hell of a lot more racist back then than they are now. So you could be supporting some shit. It just doesn't, it just doesn't look right. It's not necessarily my place to come up to you and say, hey, in front of your friends, you probably shouldn't wear that shirt, and let me explain to you why. That's not I just want to point this out. I was at an amusement park in New Jersey, okay? You know what you do in New Jersey? You sweat your ass off, you complain a lot, and you keep your fucking mouth shut. I did all three. So I'm not trying to say that it's not my place. I'm just some dude with a big forehead who knows too much. But I just felt bad. I'm like, fuck fashion trends and fuck that. Bullshit. I would never wear that fucking shirt. I mean, if they have a good album, right on, they have a good album. But even then, it depends on where your values are at. I have a hard time with some of that shit. It just depends. But I just want kids, I don't even let kids watch this show. You have to be at least 18 to watch the show. But so you probably won't fucking hear this. But if you do, from word of mouth, Google your shirts. Google a lot of shit. Seriously. And here's another thing that's actually kind of funny. The total side note has nothing to do with what we're talking about. If you're a kid and you have the internet, don't use it for everything. Google things. Make sure you know your shit before you go out and represent it. But don't tell people that you're wearing face masks and buying alcohol. That's stupid. That's a good idea to put on a mask and pretend to be 21 and buy alcohol. That's a great idea.
People are doing that?
Yeah, but don't put it on TikTok and tell everyone. Stop that.
That's a great idea.
It's fucking brilliant, but I shouldn't have heard about it. My kid's 15 and she tells me because that's fucking awesome and we have a good connection. And she didn't go buy alcohol. Well, maybe she did. Maybe that's who put this shitty beer in my refrigerator. I don't know, but don't put that on the internet.
Right.
Okay? Cool secrets about how to get through being a teenager. Shh. Racist bullshit clothes you shouldn't wear. Internet.
Right.
Got it?
Internet.
Okay.
Well,
that's how you survive.
There's kids that have there's stories about this. And I have a friend. Well, we have a mutual friend in Portland, Hijinks, who he has a joke about how there's a kid with one of the more famous stories that he robbed a place, or someone, and he got a bunch of money from it, and the cops were looking for the person that robbed the place and got all the money. And he made a post on Facebook of him with all the money in his hand, like this, hundreds of dollars or maybe a couple thousand or whatever. And he's just oh, I'm rich now. I got all this fucking cash. And then that's how they caught him. And, our friend Hijinks, has a joke about that. And it's, to your point, if you're doing some shady shit, that's fine. Do your thing. Not going to tell you how to live your life. Probably shouldn't do it, but whatever. Don't put it on the internet if you don't want to get caught.
I mean, seriously, I don't understand. If my friends had a camera when I was a kid, I would have done half the shit I was doing. Even then, I knew, if you're taking a picture of it, I can get in trouble. That's stupid. Right. When we were kids, we were looking for cameras to make sure they weren't there so no one saw us. That's the opposite of what you guys are doing. What the fuck? Stop! If you want to steal a bunch of fucking bubble gum from the mini mart, you make sure there's no cameras. Not that there's 3 cameras filming you. What the fuck? If you're going to be smart criminals, kids, take the internet out of it. Because those shitheads in the FBI, they hacked into all your shit. And they're looking at all of it. And they don't have to have, the video they took, they don't need that to fucking catch you. They'll just find you doing something else because they now have your location. They know what you're up to. Don't make it so easy to be put into a box for $70,000 a year. It's called prison, okay? Don't do that. Stop that. Like I said, internet, it's a tool. It's a tool. You don't use it against yourself. Use it for yourself, just so you know. And if you're 40 years old, I did say kids. I'm talking about your kids. Because if they fuck up, you got to pay the fines to get their dumb asses out of jail. I'm not going to tell you how I know that. I'm just going to tell you got to pay the fines.
Right.
You should care too. Preach this shit to your kids. Okay, good, great, awesome. I'm sweaty now. You're welcome.
Uh, that coffee beer is really working for you, Tony.
Getting a little revved up and drunk at the same time, man. I don't like it.
You're the kind of guy that doesn't need caffeine.
I know. I
It is
tell people that.
pouring
fucking tell
gasoline on
people
fire.
Look at what's happening to me, Alex. I'm sweating, I'm red, and I'm yelling at my own computer. What the fuck is going on? I think I like this shit.
Yeah. See, I told you you were going to do it. I was like, yeah, he's starting to like it.
But listen, they're taking me out of the store at work, right? I'm probably going to be working on a computer because of the times. No big deal. But they always say, do you want coffee? You don't drink coffee. Do you want coffee? I'm taking one of these to work. And I'm not even going to tell them that it's beer. I'm just going to fucking act like it's coffee in a can.
Right.
Just to do it. See what happens. And progressively, we'll see how many bad surveys I get with my customer, or good. It might be better, you know? Who knows? Like, Tony did something different. He told me to go fuck myself.
Like the complaint's going to read like, the person that was helping me was either had too much caffeine or was drunk. I can't tell. But either way, he broke my phone and told my kids to go fuck themselves.
And Google things. He was adamant about Googling things.
Google something, you little shit. Fuck your phone.
Want some coffee, bear?
I mean, coffee.
Coffee in a can, my ass.
So the other day I went to a protest here in Portland.
Yeah.
It was I didn't get into the shit, didn't get into the thick of it. It was I was only there for like an hour and a half or so, but I did go to support because I believe in the protests, and I think I could speak for both of us and just say I think, you know, we're both against police brutality, and, you know, fuck the cops. Sure, there might be a few good cops, but like, let's just say 98% of them are fucking dumbasses and terrible people. So yeah, fuck the cops. Like,
yeah. Always been. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They just gave us more reasons. I never like, you know.
Yeah, never liked
respect them enough to not get my fucking head stoved in, but that's about it.
The protest I went to was a very peaceful protest. It was, and we didn't march. It was just like a gathering in a park in Portland, and it was just like showing support with each other, and, you know, just putting on a little event, and people were talking, and, you know, they were like kind of passing around the microphone, and I saw them doing that. I saw them being like, you know, if anybody, they're like, anybody at all wants to come up and say something about what's going on in the protests, and for a half a second, just because I'm a comic, it was just like, ooh, someone's passing around a microphone. I haven't done stand-up in 4 months. And I was like, no. It's not about me and the comedy. It's not about it. If I want to go say something, sure, but like, it's not about me and comedy. So it's like, no. But I have to admit, when someone was like, if anyone wants to talk, here's a microphone, I was like, oh yeah, I want to go. I want to do it. I want to play. It's like a little dog when you show them a treat. Like, yeah.
I'm kind of picturing you with your lady, and she has one of those harnesses that you put on kids. That's has a little bear on it with a leash.
Yeah.
And she took you. She's like, only if you behave. And then you saw the microphone, and she's like reeling in an 80-pound bass. You know, she's like, oh.
It's more like a 250-pound catfish is what it was.
Alex, listen, a little guy, an 80-pound bass is going to destroy me, okay? I was thinking about myself.
Oh, yeah, I get it. But no, I think she's about at that point to get a harness for me anyway, so. Trying to get into some kinky shit, you know what I'm saying, Tom?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But I'm glad that, well, if you're going to get up there and talk, make sure you bring your own, microphone condom these days. I don't want you getting sick.
Yeah.
If you're going to speak, but bring your own condom. All right.
It's ribbed for the people's pleasure, baby.
That's right. Especially you old silver-tongued devil, you.
Oh.
I obviously am not in Portland, but I did see, I do have I have the exact same opinion about it as you do, almost. A little bit of a twist to this nonsense. I saw the video where the veteran, the Navy veteran,
Yeah.
went out to the protest. He's already taken several phone calls. He's been quite the hero for a few people. I resonated with that guy because I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I saw a lot. I dug his confidence. I mean, a lot of people probably dug his confidence. He walked out there. He merely just wanted to ask a question. He just sees it probably right down the middle, like I like to think I do as well. Just, what the hell are you guys doing? That was basically his question, is like, what the fuck? Why? I'm a military veteran. I actually served this country, not necessarily the inside, but willing to die for the whole damn thing. So when you're willing to, when you sign that and you say, I'm going to defend this country and all the people in it, wherever the fuck they came from or are coming from, you have a hard time understanding why people inside the country that you fought to defend are beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So I saw that in him. I'm like, yeah, now that guy's 3 times my size. And if a motherfucker hit me with a baton, I'd still be laying there holding my knee like I skinned it like a 4-year-old girl. He took a beating, don't get me wrong. And he took it proudly.
But he took
it. Say that.
Yeah.
But I still I get both sides of the coin. And let me say that because I wore a uniform and not everyone out there is a cop. Especially now, they've gotten federally involved. I know that there was some military people involved in there, and I know about half the people that are wearing those uniforms were or are still military. That would be a hard thing for me to swallow. I'm not going to lie. I signed up to defend the country, not to defend one side of the people in the country.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I would have to say, there's kids out there that are 18, 19 years old. I don't know who was wearing the masks, who was beating this guy, beating the Navy vet up. I don't know that. I know they weren't very strong. It's like he said, he's like, listen, I'm not that big of a dude. He's like, the people beating on me were just small. And that immediately resonated with me. I'm 19 years old. I've never fought for my country. There isn't really a war right now. I joined the Army because I ain't ready to be a Marine yet. Yes, that's a fucking Marine Corps slap in the face to you, Army bastard. Kiss my ass. In any case, he joined the Army, and they're like, hey, you're going to go stand in Portland and do whatever we tell you. And you're excited because you're 19, you joined, and they're passing out gas, and they're passing out all this shit. You're going to use rubber bullets. You're excited. I swear to God, most of it you would be, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying you're excited because you signed up and something's actually happening. You're being told this is fucking real, and there's an enemy. I don't know if they're being told there's an enemy, but they're not treating them like friends out there right now.
True.
So I couldn't imagine being a 19-year-old kid being told, before I even know what I truly believe in, being told, hey, we're all cool. We're on the same side. We're wearing camo. We're going to fuck these people up tonight, because you have to get motivated to do your job. But I just couldn't imagine being in that position. I would much rather be the Navy veteran getting my fucking wrist broken or whatever happened to him than the 3 kids who were wearing that uniform who got all wound up by their superiors to go out there and club that guy. The guy who took the beating and walked back, the veteran with the backpack, looked a hell of a lot stronger and a lot more like an American than the 3 assholes who sat there and tried to chop him down like a fucking tree.
Right. So
I get both sides because I was in the military. I would much rather be the veteran standing out there asking what the fuck you guys are doing.
Yeah, I
than I would be the kid swinging on him because I was given orders.
Right.
I'm not against the military. I get it, but I don't know that they should be giving out orders in our own country with things that can hurt people. I just don't understand that. A military presence should be enough on its own. If the military can't stop people from protesting, then maybe we're not supposed to stop protesting.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, if they can't stop the people from protesting, then maybe we actually have something worth listening to say. Maybe what we're saying is fucking worth it. There's people, like I didn't read the article, but there's a headline, and all you need to see is the headline, is it says something like, Portland, Oregon, the whitest city in America, has the biggest protest about supporting Black Lives Matter. It says something like that. And that's true. It's like, if all these like a liberal white city is supporting Black Lives Matter and willing to get shot in the head with rubber bullets, tear gas, mace, even die like if just the residents of this city are willing to do all that, if there's a vet that lives in Portland that's willing to take a beating from 3 people, don't you think that what we're trying to say is worth it? Don't you
Right.
think that what we're trying to say and do and get across is fair, at least? Like, Black Lives Matter. Just matter. That's it. Like, to start with, we just want respect. They want respect. And that's why, like, I like your take on it, Tony, because you're like, I get both sides because I had to do a job that was similar, but I don't agree with what they're doing. I like that point, because you're like, I am a vet. I was in similar situations, but what they're doing to Americans is unjust, and it's brutality, and it shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't be doing it to ourselves. And
Well, I
like
don't even know that,
like your
that we
point.
would go into another fucking country and do that.
Yeah, we shouldn't even be doing that
We
to
don't.
people at
No,
all.
the fucking Marines never went and shot rubber bullets in. I didn't shoot rubber bullets and tear gas at people who were trying to do peaceful demonstrations in other countries. We didn't get involved in that shit.
Oh yeah,
We got involved with people making bombs and blowing up kids and shit. That's the shit we got. The shit that Americans don't want to fucking happen in other countries. That's the shit that we did. But I'll say this: as soon as you join the military, if you're a racist piece of shit, you're gonna get found out.
right.
You're going to be found out because you have to work with every race. That's what the military is about. It's a fucking melting pot. People from Mississippi, towns you never heard of, fucking Oregon. Your uncle might have raised you to be a racist piece of shit. You're going to get your fucking jaw broken the first day of boot camp for saying something ignorant. So if you've lasted 4 years in the military, you may still be a racist asshole, but you'll still know that you need to respect everyone just because, especially get the fucking mission done. So most people who were in the I'm not giving it to everybody, but most people in the military know how to work with all races and understand that they would definitely die for that fucking guy. My battle buddy speaks better Spanish than he does English to this day. That's my fucking battle buddy. I didn't pick him. We picked each other when shit hit the fan.
Right.
I would die for that fucking guy. He almost died. I mean, I'm saying that fucking skin didn't have anything to do with it. So
Right.
I'm happy as a pig in shit to see a veteran out there taking a clubbing from a bunch of new age pussies with fucking batons. If
Right.
your commander tells you to do something, I really don't think you have to do that. Don't fucking swing on people with fucking batons. That's not your job. You're not serving your country. You're serving some fucking dickhead who got orders from some other dickhead. I know you're in the military, but you're not fighting a fucking war on the other side of the country. You're fighting your own people. And one day you might have to get something from those people, as you'll be a civilian again.
Right.
One day you'll be a civilian, you'll be walking down these streets, and you'll remember how you acted on those streets. So,
Yep.
I was proud of the veteran. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I agree, and I just want to say, I think it's awesome that you have that opinion, because you help prove the point further that stereotypes about veterans, certain stereotypes about veterans, aren't true. Because better than anybody, a lot of people, that some people think that veterans are all racist and all, like, whatever, right? So I think you having this opinion, and that veteran, I forget his name, so I hate to just say that guy, but that person, the veteran in Portland that took a beating, I think it's great that people like you guys are stepping out, whether it's like verbally or physically, and showing people are racist, but not all veterans are.
It's not designed on clubs. Like, there's a lot of racist people in the police. They're everywhere. Dave Chappelle said there's racist comics. That's the fucking way it is. But people need to understand, just because I was in a group that decided to do a job or whatever, I'm still me. I still have my values, and I hung around other people in the Marine Corps who had the same values.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time a gentleman who was the opposite skin color of I that I served in the Marine Corps with came up to me to test me out and rubbed a booger on my ass. He was testing me out. He was in the Crips back in his hometown, and
Right.
his best friend was in the Bloods. I remember we served with both of them. They were in our unit. They were best friends. One was a Blood, one was a Crip. They're both, the rooms had the gang shit hanging in it. but they were fucking friends together in the Marines. And the one guy came up and rubbed boogers on me. And I immediately looked at him, punched him in the face, and then I think I was out for like 48 hours. I don't know what the fuck happened. I got destroyed. Like,
Right.
they beat the shit out of me, and then I woke up, and then we all had beer together. Now, I don't know what, that doesn't make any sense because I was in the Marines. No, that doesn't make it, but that's how we got down. And I still know their names, and I'm still in touch with both of those fucking guys.
That's
I mean, they still rub boogers on me, but we respect each other.
awesome.
I don't want to get at. So please, yes, to your point, please, as you decide that you're against police brutality, you're against all these things, take it one step further and understand that though someone may be a part of a specific group, I'm not talking about extreme groups, just military veterans, things that people do to serve their country. We're not one-sided. We're still individuals. We have our own thoughts. We have our own ways we were raised. And the military does not preach racism. It does not preach any of that shit. Hatred, nothing. They're cool with gay, straight. They've changed. They always are trying to evolve. Even the fucking Marine Corps, who takes a lot of passion in killing people, is all about making sure we kill the right people for the right reasons.
Right.
Okay? To defend, just so you know. So yes, we are steamy-eyed killers. We take pride in that stuff, but we do it for, I know people have their opinion, but for wherever our country tells us to go to defend our freedom.
Right.
I know that's debatable, but we're not fucking, I'm not. I'm all about what's going on over there. If my skinny ass could have stand next to that Navy vet and got clobbered, I would have too, but I probably would have ripped someone's helmet off and taken it with me because those are worth $400 a piece. I'm a Marine, people. I'm a poor Marine. I know that helmet's worth $400. I would take it off his head and run away. I'm just saying. I'd take some gear with me. Sorry.
Well,
I'm a thief. I'm not judging. I'm just a thief. Military gear is worth so much money. When I see that out there, when I really see that out there, see all the gear, all the cool shit. Look at me, mama. I'm like, ooh, take his gear. There's so much money for that. That's like $70,000 that asshole's wearing on the street, trying to beat you up with a $10,000 baton. Take that fucking baton. That's worth money. You can get money for that. Maybe I'm a picker. Maybe, I'm just a poor guy, but I see profit in this. That's all. Anyway.
That's perfect.
That was fun. I'm sweating.
Thanks for that was great, Tony. I like that. I'm being serious. I think it's great. But I think it's a good place to end, even though it's a heavy place to end. We're talking about heavy shit. But you got anything else more that you want to talk about? Anything else, Don?
No, no, hell no. That was fun, and what I said is what I meant. So thank you for letting me get that out there.
Well, yeah, man. Yeah, that's what we do. Well, ended with a heavy topic, but we're gonna also end with a heavy band to listen to next episode. The band because it's my turn to pick. I'm gonna pick a band called Gojira. They're a French metal band. You spell it Gojira. Gojira. And they're a French metal band, and they're fucking awesome. The name of the record is Magma. That is the name of that, and that came out 2016. So I think it is the newest record they have, I believe, unless there's a new one that came out and I didn't know about. But it's a great album. They're a great band. They're heavy. They're the heaviest band that I could think of that we are reviewing on this show. So it's there.
We just talked about some heavy shit, so let's do it.
Yeah, I picked it for two reasons: to test the people that listen to this, because I listen to a lot of metal. Is my favorite kind of music. That's what I listen to primarily. Right. So I go heavier than this as well. So it's kind of to test everyone, if I got to say anything, just listen to the technicality of the music. Try to get past the vocals and the heaviness of it. Listen to the talent that they're putting out on the real talent. And the same thing to you, Tony, just try to get what you can out of it, try to get past the brutality of the music and just go, oh, that's crazy. How are they doing that? That's incredible. That's real talent. Right. So that's just what I got to say about that.
And to a point, to your point, Alex, we pick crazy, not trendy music. We pick whatever. Who knows what the hell we'll land on? Honestly, we're all over the place. Alex digs metal, but he is very open-minded. He got me into tons of shit that isn't metal. Everything from Alt J to Charles Bradley, you name it. Honestly, he really got me into it. So to the point, I know that like as people listen to this, not everyone listens to this crazy shit. Even if you listen to 2 minutes of it, you at least know what the hell we're talking about on the next episode. And that's the point, is to listen to things that I wouldn't necessarily listen to, or he wouldn't necessarily listen to, or you guys wouldn't.
Right.
And if you want to make a recommendation, if you want to hear us talk about Celine Dion, I'm serious. You got a fucking album? Throw it down. How can you get a hold of us, Alex? How can you tell us what album you want us to talk about?
You could either say it in the comments on YouTube, or you could message us or comment on our Instagram page. That is Titfoo69. Titfoo69, baby. Yeah. So, yeah, that being said, like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hope you like this episode. Check out the Instagram page and Facebook. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next time.